Today we make a rum barrel from the Centennial State. This is the rum barrel from Adrift. Adrift is a tiki bar in Denver, Colorado, and if you go there right now, you can experience this exact rum barrel, or at least close enough. And if you're very lucky, you might even get one for you made by Vince, who's the bar manager and one of the very first Make and Drink Patreon members. I've been doing this for a while now. And just a couple years ago, Vince was starting his professional journey into tiki, and now he's a bar manager and giving his own seminars at Adrift, where you can learn all about tiki and tiki drinks with Trader Vince. Also, about 2 years ago now, we went through many rum barrels here, from Don the Beachcomber to the Mai Kai to Steve's rum barrel, the Trader Vic rum keg, Doc Park's rum barrel remix, and we even made our very own. There's a whole playlist for you to indulge in, which I will leave at the end of this video and in the description. And today's rum barrel is more aligned and inspired by the one made from Garrett Richard that's in the Tropical Standard book. And when it comes to said rum barrels, they're complicated. That's kind of the whole point. They're big, they're bold, and they have lots of ingredients. And today's does not disappoint there, because when I say a lot of ingredients, I'm talking 13 ingredients. But I have to make a sub here, so I'm actually going to be using 14. Now, most things are basic syrups, and you should have those or have easy access to those. And then we need some juices. The hurdles for some of you will be the bitters and the rum. Vince calls for 2 bitters. Abbott's bitters is the first. I don't have that, so I'm using the Boker style bitters, which is really just cardamom bitters. This captures that old school bitters that you can find called for a lot in Jerry Thomas's Bartender's Guide. Second bitters we need is sarsaparilla. And when Vince shared this recipe, he did say sarsaparilla bitters, and I don't know why, but when I was looking online, I just typed in root beer bitters, and that's what I bought. It's not exactly the same, but it's very close, and it's also delicious. It's like a root beer bitters. And if you don't have these things or don't want to get them, use something else. Use Angostura, some Angostura and some orange, whatever you want. Just don't let not having 1 or 2 things stop you from making this. Now for the rums, we need 4. Worthy Park 109, which is a dark Jamaican rum that brings in rich Jamaican flavor, as well as some of that dry, burned flavor that we often associate with demerara rums. Speaking of which, we need Hamilton 151, a demerara rum. We need Coruba, and then Hampden HLCF Classic, which I do not have. It's only a 1/4 ounce, so you could sub in anything here, and it's not going to be exact, but a funky Jamaican rum would work best. The best I can do is a blend of rum fire and Smith across. And yes, I realize that for just a 1/4 ounce that we're going to great lengths to maybe try to replicate something or get close to it. But who knows, if you want to make 10 of these, you can batch this ahead of time. Now, if you're into rum, you might be very focused on the ester levels of Jamaican rums, and they're interesting things to know, but it's not some universal blueprint. Just because one rum is high ester does not mean that another rum with a similar ester level will taste the same or have the same level of funkiness. These Jamaican rums are complex, they're unique, and that's actually what makes them so great. They're so different from each other. So when it comes to the bitters and the rums, just try not to overthink it. This recipe is great because it's a maximalist approach, and it's not designed for us to make at home. This was not considered for a book or a recipe card at a rum festival. This is something on the menu right now, and it's cool that Vince shared it with us. So let's make the rum barrel from Adrift. I'm going to start with 4 dashes of our sarsaparilla or root beer bitters, 1 dash of Abbott's or a Boker style bitters, 1/2 ounce of lime juice, 1/2 ounce of orange juice, 3/4 ounces of a grapefruit juice, 1/4 ounce of a passionfruit syrup, 1/2 ounce of a demerara syrup, 1/2 ounce of a honey syrup, 1/4 ounce of an allspice dram, 1/4 ounce of our Hampden HLCF Classic, or my own blend here, 3/4 ounces of Coruba rum, 3/4 ounces of Hamilton 151 rum, and 1 ounce of Worthy Park 109. I'll be flash blending this, but if you don't have a drink mixer, you can always shake this. The garnish here is a lime shell with some crushed star anise filled with some 151 rum and set on fire. So there you go, the rum barrel from Adrift. All right, I did ditch the whole lime shell with the rum in it. What you saw on camera, on video, was rum on fire, but for the thumbnail, I needed a little more flame. If you want more flame, you can use lemon extract. The problem with lemon extract is you don't really want that in your drink in case it tips over. I don't want it in my drink, so that's why I took it out, just in case. So let's try this rum barrel. Cheers. That is delicious. That is, it is very boozy. It's crazy in a drink with 13, 14-ish ingredients that just a 1/4 ounce of passion fruit syrup you can still pick up. So it's not like a passion fruit drink. You still get that tropical note from the passion fruit. And then there's a nice level of underlying bitterness there from the grapefruit juice. Vince did tell me that their passion fruit syrup is a little bit more acidic than normal. So finding this a little bit too sweet, that might be one reason. I find that when you just make it and start drinking it, it can be a little bit sweet, but a rum barrel for me is not a drink that I want to consume in the next 5, 10, 20 minutes. Like you could spend 30 minutes to an hour drinking this thing. So you want it to dilute over time. So I don't find it to be too sweet, but I do find it right now to be like bold, heavy, and there's just so much going on. And that's what I want. I want a rum barrel that has so much going on. It just takes you time to figure it out. You could sit here and think like that there's cinnamon in here, which there's not, but I think it's just like that combination of allspice dram with the demerara. The root beer bitters are delicious. I tried those on their own when I first got that in the mail, and they taste like root beer. It has a nice, like root beer minty, herbal quality, the licoricey anise type note as well. I want to make more stuff with those root beer bitters. I have tasted these on their own, but I'm going to taste it again. This is where you can talk yourself into whatever you want to talk yourself into. I was recognizing kind of a cinnamonish flavor, which I was associating with the use of passion fruit and honey and cinnamon we often get in a lot of other cocktails. So I was kind of picking up those notes, but that cinnamon is actually coming from the root beer bitters. Those are delicious. Maybe a little bit of club soda and the bitters on its own, probably delicious. Maybe add a little sugar. So it's not like a A&W like creamy root beer, but a lot of those like dark flavors you pick up from root beer. That obviously the one Vince is using at Adrift, the sarsaparilla one, it's going to be a touch different than the root beer bitters, but that's really that's probably like a big key here to making it come through this way and transform it from like a general tiki, rum barrel. So this one from Bitter Cube, I will leave a link to in the description. I picked it up on Amazon, and it does say here sarsaparilla, star anise, birch bark, and wintergreen. And wintergreen is that kind of secret root beer flavor you don't associate with root beer, because root beer can be such a like complex flavor. So definitely, I think it makes this cocktail, even though at the top of the video I was saying don't stop you from making it. Another thing too, if you saw me using these like each squirt as a dash, it's because I weighed these. You don't have to weigh them, but not every dropper bottle is exactly the same. Not every bulb's going to pull the same amount from your bottle. So I have one of these little scales that I picked up on Amazon. There you go, right there. And I use this for all those small measurements. So I just put it down and put a cup or a jigger, and I'll put a dash of Angostura, a dash of cardamom, see what those are, see how much those weigh, and then weigh out one of these and put it back in. I don't waste it. But I have a couple of these now too. I have one in my kitchen. I have one out here at the bar. That way you can weigh small amounts. If you're doing anything with like citrus or malic acids, you really need something that does to a finer degree than your typical like coffee scale. So that's why I use the full, dropper for each dash, but that's something you got to figure out with each different dropper that you have. So is the Adrift Rum Barrel better than the other rum barrels? I don't know, because it's been a couple years now since I've probably had any rum barrels. And on top of that, it's impossible to say, unless you're tasting things side by side, what you personally like better. You may have had eaten something differently 2 years ago, or been in a different mood, or had liked different things then. So it's impossible to say. I will tell you though, that this is up there with one of my favorite rum barrels that I've ever had. I think out in the world, one of my favorites is also the one from 3 Dots and a Dash, which I don't have the recipe for. That one has some type of cardamom thing going on to it as well. So some similarities there to this one from my memory of the one at 3 Dots and a Dash. And it's great. It checks all the boxes that I want in a rum barrel, which is big and bold. There's fruity rum barrels and there's dark rum barrels that have like molassesy notes. It has some of both. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. And if I was served this rum barrel anywhere in the world, I would be very happy. This is the type of drink too, where you just kind of hope that you don't really have any plans for the rest of the day. So I guess now I don't. So here's. So there you go, folks. The rum barrel from Adrift in Denver, Colorado. Exceptional, delicious rum barrel. Don't complain at me because it's got too many ingredients. That's the whole damn point of a rum barrel. If you don't have 10 ingredients in a rum barrel, you're not even making a rum barrel. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like below. Consider subscribing to the channel. And hey, if you want to support this channel more, and maybe you're on your way to one day be a celebrity tiki bartender like Vince, then join the Make and Drink Patreon to converse with and meet like-minded individuals. Otherwise, see you in the next one.